small groups to answer any sort of questions you guys have. We'll have like a really short presentation. It probably won't take the whole hour, but we'll leave any sort of questions that you guys might have for the end. But with that, I'll let Marin go through the deck about the course, and then we'll answer any questions.
Perfect. Yeah, and then we can talk a little bit about us and our background at the end, but I will run through this course briefly. Yeah, so creating change through communications. We recently created this online course specifically for mission-driven organizations seeking global and systemic change. And who is this course for? It's for comms professionals like yourself, looking to optimize your communication strategy and performance while scaling your impact. So breaking out of your normal rhythms, and kind of, using some tips and tricks that have been useful for us. It's also for you if you want to scale through research, replication, or impact-driven content, create tangible impact through communications, influence other organizations to change their strategies and behavior through dissemination and insights, or if you just need tactics to influence other organizations and systemically. And the structure of this course, so it's divided into 8 modules of content in addition to an introduction, intermission, and conclusion. And you'll have access to 1 module per week. So it's kind of goes module by module for a total of 8 weeks. And once you finish the module, you'll be able to submit an assignment to the discussion board of communications professionals and discuss the module with fellow colleagues and with us during our community board. And how much time should you dedicate to this course? We understand that communications professionals in general, but specifically at mission-driven organizations, kind of have a time deficit at times. So we want to make sure we're very clear. You'll usually need to dedicate just 1 to 2 hours per week to finish the course, sometimes even less. Although, the time required to finish the assignment may be relative, depending on your schedule and timeline. So what does the course entail? So we have some topic areas here. That's just a teaser. So we have strategy, target audience, content creation, organic SEO, dissemination, social media, sponsored content, and success tracking. And one thing that I found when I was, just starting out and I was looking at different courses online was a lot of them were segmented and they had to do a lot with like B2B organizations. And we wanted to create something that was all in the same place that was just relevant to communicators in this space. And then the course format, so we talked about 8 modules tailored for mission-driven organizations, but we have case studies and real-life examples in each module. We have worksheets, we have strategy templates, tool share lessons to help create your plan and follow the Agile framework. Quizzes to test your understanding of each module, access to the community board where you'll be able to share your submissions and receive feedback. And so the great thing about these is they can be, talked about amongst your team once you've learned these tools, and you can invest in yourself and the people around you with these skills. So here's a little bit about the course interface. This is what it looks like. It's hosted on Podia, which is the class platform for multi-tool learning. And as each module is released, you'll have one portal to access all of the content. And then comments can be made on the platform itself, and then discussions are held in the community section. So and the course is available on desktop and mobile. So if you wanted to do it, during your commute, fit it in where necessary, that's also an option. And what else can you expect beyond the content of the lessons? So the most beneficial thing that we think that is going to be great is to join this community of like-minded professionals. Sometimes you can just feel a little bit isolated if you're a one-man show on your team or a 2 or 3-man show. You can kind of feel isolated, feel like you are always trying to teach yourself things. And we just wanted to build a community where you can teach each other and invest in each other, problem solve, etc. So you'll be asked to submit an assignment to the community's discussion board at the end of each module, and you'll just share your understanding and insights with your fellow colleagues while we review your submissions and share insights and guidance and all of that good stuff. But yeah, invest in yourself and your peers by providing valuable feedback at the end of the course. So that is one thing that we are hoping. This is our first cohort, so it's kind of like an exclusive look at this, and then you can kind of build it how you see fits. So providing honest feedback about the course at the end, providing testimonials that we can share upon finishing the course, so we can kind of get the word out to other mission-driven communicators. And this isn't a requirement, of course, but we would appreciate it if you share your progress on social media throughout the course duration, just kind of so we can see what's going on. And we also just believe that real change can take place when these practices are put into action. So we encourage you to just commit to the process. And yeah, commitment includes in finishing the lessons, submitting the assignments on time, being involved in our weekly community board discussions, and simply investing in yourself. This course is not supposed to be a burden to your schedule by any means. So yeah, just fitting it in where you can is important, but also yeah, committing to the time and just the process of it all is super important. And we'd love to hear your feedback on what you liked about it and what can be improved as we're kind of workshopping it for the future. And then the benefits of purchasing the course. So there's a free version and there's a purchase version. If you choose to purchase the course, you'll get the following additional benefits. So we'll provide professional feedback and insights based on your submissions. So we'll really take the time to, okay, this is what we think works well about your post. This is what we think you would really benefit by improving upon. And once you complete the course, you'll get all of your submissions approved. You complete the final assignment and you'll receive a certificate of completion that you can post on LinkedIn. You can share with your colleagues, etc. And then a little bit about Discovered Markets. I will pass this one back over to Jason to talk a little bit about. But yeah.
Yeah, and then yeah, we guess we should have opened with a little bit about ourselves, but we wanted to focus on the course. But we're part of Discovered Markets. Our comms service is one of the solutions that we make for mission-driven organizations, where our products are used by leading DFIs, funds, organizations. Some of them are listed on this page, so familiar to you. Our comm service is led by Marin, supported by Sarah. Particularly, we are work with a lot of the organizations on this list around disseminating content out to new audiences. So it might be an example as a organization we worked with, Frontier Brokers Network in Southeast Asia. That was a collection of seven gender lens investment funds that wanted to encourage more investors to think about gender when they're doing investments. Another group is EU-funded Africa Rise program that is working across Africa on a number of entrepreneurship programs, trying to communicate what they're doing to government actors, to business actors, to startup ecosystem actors. We work with UNIDO on industrial policy communication, focusing on governance audience. So we really built out an expertise in taking what could be quite technical and niche content, and both getting it to that technical and niche audience, but also reaching out to new audiences where they want to influence them, whatever impact mission that they have. And then just a final note in the course. The big reason that we created this course was that we kept running into comms professionals at different organizations that were all sort of facing a lot of the same problems. And even when we were bringing on new people and new staff into what we were doing, usually they would come from a B2B, B2C type background, or that was the training that they had received, and really saw a gap here around how do we talk about digital marketing efforts and the work that we do, and communications efforts and the work that we do when we're actually talking about impact as our goal, or influence as our goal. So hopefully that helps to describe who we are and why we made this course, a little bit about the course, but I'm happy to answer any questions.
Cool. And right before we do that, here's our sign up for the course. And we also wanted to share this discount code with you guys. Thank you for showing up. You get an exclusive discount code to take the course for free. Usually we're charging just under $900 for it, but since you guys are showing up, interested, we would love to extend this to you. And yeah, all we ask in return is just your feedback. But yeah, definitely would love to hear any questions that you have, any feedback.
I think I can start. I don't know if I missed this information, but for how long is the course, and what is the commitment that you expect from the participants?
Yeah, the course takes part over 8 weeks, starting on February 13th. And it's a cohort model, and we designed it to be a cohort model to encourage that community element, cross-sharing among people taking the course. Commitment for watching the course videos and sort of reading. It says 1 to 2 hours, but really it's probably could be even less than that in some weeks. That probably includes some of the time to do the assignments as well. So we tried to make it, okay, here are sort of like top level tips and best practices and case examples within the sector.
Right, thanks for your answer. And then I have another question regarding it, because I'm actually looking at a page where I can see all the contents, and there are 2 particular ones that I'm more interested, is the target audience and the success tracking. So for the target audience, I see there is something around creating the target, the user profile, researching, discussion. Is there anything related to engagement and how to build the relationship?
Yeah, so maybe Ryan wants to chip in. I don't answer the question.
Yes, yeah. Lord, we've talked a lot about relationship building, and there's different tactics to create engagement. That kind of also goes along with, building your target audience and creating content that's specific for them, and SEO work. So all of that is designed to increase your engagement and build not only a good quantity of relationships, but quality relationships with people who you can impact for a long amount of time, more than just transaction. But good question.
All right, thank you. And the last one, and then I'll stop. It's regarding the success tracking. Is this based on any sort of model, or is it just like some basic knowledge?
Yeah, we can share. We've written some articles on this around what you could be tracking around, and this is sort of under the category, right, of sort of thought leadership content, right? If you're trying to do influential content, you're trying to capture thought leadership metrics to see if it's successful, right? You don't have sales or conversions necessarily that you're tracking. And so that success tracking module is looking at, okay, what are those different areas that you could be tracking? Where is that data available now, and like where are you sort of supplementing that data through either more qualitative measures or surveys or sort of other areas, right? And then how you sort of package that. And it talks too about, I'd say, about getting the rest of your team on board with how to view your comms success in that light, right? So we'll often see, okay, we really the only data that we have to track might be sort of website hits, or if we're doing an ad campaign and we're doing paid and how big our reach there is, or if we have videos, how much, sort of those typical digital marketing elements, right? But if you create from the beginning of this campaign, okay, like we want to track these other measurements of actually tracking influence, or we want to hit these exact audiences and we want them to do these exact things, right? Building that into the culture within your team. I think that's also something that could be lacking.
All right. Yeah, thank you for that. so yeah, I mean, I'm highly interested in this type of course. Like you touch up on so many things that we're like struggling with every day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we hear that.
definitely very interesting. So I'll discuss with my team and get back to you guys. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Anna.
Yeah, I'm also, I think, excited about the course and appreciate that you've created it, because like everything that I've done is pretty much self-taught. And whenever I've Googled like communications courses, it's like very private sector corporate, like it doesn't seem useful or relevant. Or like very like NGO kind of standard, like thinking about like getting more donors for your project. So I feel like this is like a space that's missing. So I think you guys are on the right track. I guess the question is what the level is at, or like what it's, yeah, kind of what it's geared for, both asking for myself, but also that I have a colleague based out of Rwanda who I think maybe would be interested at some point in joining. So just kind of curious, yeah, what the level of the course is.
Yeah. I think you want some familiarity with digital marketing topic areas. Like we're not going through definitions of, okay, this is what paid ads are, this is what SC, like it's sort of jumping into how it's different in this industry versus maybe you've learned it before, right? And I think that's probably a good level to think about it. We recognize that some people might be more experts in some modules than others, and I think that's where the community element's really important, right? So we find, okay, yeah, I have a really great sense of the strategy and then sort of setting my target audience, but I know nothing about SEO, or I'm scared of SEO. That's not an area that I've really dug into much into it. So I think if you have some experience, if you're more experienced, I think that's what you can sort of expect to get out of it. But if you're sort of newer to the space, then I think it's really helpful.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I'll be honest, from the feedback portion of this all, I think that's something we really want to see from this first run of it too, right? And get that. And we'll be along throughout the journey to sort of add any other ad hoc comments for more advanced practitioners, or to help people that, okay, yeah, maybe they don't know what SEO is. So we need to describe it more. We're there for that too.
Okay. And then it sounds like most of the topics are focused on digital marketing, kind of in that space. Is that understanding correct?
Maybe I'll run an answer.
Cool. Yeah, it's kind of a mix. So there are definitely digital marketing components. That we've found that communicators within mission-driven organizations kind of have dual roles. So we've tried to, address that a little bit. Of yes, you have to manage your own SEO, and you have to kind of manage your internal marketing. But you also need to get your content out into the world. So there's like this internal focus and external focus. So we try to address both. Whether it's one-to-one outreach or like strategy when it comes to external communications. So yes, but we try to also have like external context in mind as well.
Yeah, I'd say the dissemination tactics probably apply to print media if that's something that you're doing, right? We're not covering sort of like how to do an event or that sort of stuff. But maybe like event version of something.
Okay. I think those are my questions as well.
Well, great. Thank you both for joining. We've recorded this. I think we'll have. I think we've answered your questions, but we're probably having another Q&A before it starts. But you should have our emails as well. But we'll follow up on the Eventbrite afterwards and share our emails if you have any questions that come up between now and the 13th. But thank you both for coming today. And look forward to seeing you in the course.
That's good. Thank you for
Awesome.
your time.
Yeah, thanks for scheduling this. It's been helpful.
Nice.
Awesome.
Great. See you soon.
Bye.
Good day, wherever you all are.
Bye.